Contemporary art has long since stepped out of the white cubes and museum hush. It's moved into courtyards, onto the sides of buildings, into the arches between apartment blocks. Today, the mural might just be the most democratic form of visual expression. No ticket needed, no dress code, no RSVP. All it asks for is an honest wall and a passerby's glance. Here, the rules of the wide gallery don't apply. The opening night, a kid's playground, the audio guide, the city's own noise. Mikhail Neronsky doesn't enter this space as a decorator but as a conversation partner. His images don't command the viewer. They invite you to pause, to take a breath. For him, a mural is a way to give the city air its flavor back, to remind us even concrete can dream. Because a wall breathes, it cracks, it fades, it gathers dust and gases. In Astana, where the wind rewrites the plan every hour, the artist has to negotiate not just with people, but with the climate, the logistics, the neighborhood group chat. And that's how a new kind of viewer is born. Someone who's never stepped foot in a museum suddenly realizing that art isn't magic, it's work. It's always different, always personal. Sometimes, yeah, you make good money off a piece and you think, nice, that was worth it. Other times, it's what you learn in the process. You go, wow, I really pulled that off. Even if something didn't quite work, you still pushed through. You leveled up, and that feels good. Of course, the audience reaction matters. It's amazing when people are happy, when they are smiling. That's beautiful. But there's also that inner satisfaction. That feeling like, yeah, I made something that really meant something to me. The story of the mural sketches back through time, from ancient frescoes and medieval tempera paintings to the industrial concrete of the 20th century. In Mexico, it sparked a powerful wave of wall-sized panels. In Europe and the US, it gave rise to graffiti and street art. Times change, but the soul of the artist remains the same: to express, to speak out, publicly, in plain sight. In Kazakhstan, facades have become canvases for local values. We see the vast steppe, graceful horses, joyful children, and eyes turned toward the future. Mikhail Neronsky works with this tone of clarity. He doesn't shock, he doesn't provoke for the sake of provocation. Instead, he weaves his images into the rhythm of the street, so they don't shout over it, but speak with it. A mural gives walls back to the people. In place of ads, there's a story, an invitation to meaning. It's not graffiti, it's not a poster. It works with the architecture, adapts to the angle of the building and the pace of the passerby. From American murals of the 1940s to pop art and digital projections of the 21st century, it's all part of the same story. But in Astana, permanence isn't measured in stone. It's measured in glances, in how many times someone looks up and sees the image anew. Today we were at a site where I was painting statues. And honestly, for me, this project is really about a conversation with the city, with its people. And when I finished it, I felt like, yes, I actually gave something to this place. Something of myself. Something good. Something thoughtful. Kind. Timeless, as they say. That's why I focus more on creativity now. I take on social projects because that's where I can really express myself, where I can say, we can look to the future, we can live better. Later on, I just did what I saw, what I knew I could do, what I wanted to do. So naturally, I had to do it. I didn't think about whether it was about the past or the future, but to me it felt like I was part of something folk-like. Like I joined in a kind of people's art. Like I became part of Astana's folklore. And I believe there aren't many works like this. We should treat them with real care, with reverence. In one of Astana's courtyards, residents had a say in what would appear on the wall of their building. This kind of collective decision-making is a hallmark of urban art. The neighborhood chat turned into a creative boardroom. Ideas were shared, sketches reviewed, lifeless concepts tossed aside, and the ones that felt real and relatable were kept. The artist's task to preserve the soul of the image. The result is a mural that resonates with both kids and adults. But public input doesn't mean less responsibility. The artist still has to juggle community wishes, the scale of the wall, perspective, and technical constraints. Behind the scenes, it's all about precision, grids, projectors, color tests. When the morning light hits and the colors blend seamlessly with the building, that's when trust is earned. The mural becomes part of daily life, inviting people to see their city with fresh eyes.
Рисунок выбирали, в общем-то, всем двором.
We really did choose the design as a community. There were lots of sketches and ideas. Of course, I tried to push for mine. What I liked about it was its calm, natural feel. It tells a story, how the new generation looks ahead, from the past into the future. I wanted to show Kazakhstan's nature, eagles, horses, and this girl floating above it all. Her pose is light, like she's soaring.
Как бы тоже парит над всем этим, над этой природой. Вот у нее тоже летящая такая поза.
Urban art has its own legends, like the time a mural was painted in freezing rain with temperatures near zero. The paint wouldn't dry, deadlines were tight, and the concrete refused to cooperate. The artists became builders of meaning, scraping, transferring, catching a few hours of sleep, then layering again. Nights like that remind us, street art isn't just about ideas, it's about endurance. When a mural survives cold, fatigue, and time, it earns its place. What the public sees is the final image, but every layer holds the memory of the struggle.
В общем, сделали, даже несмотря на дождь.
We got it done even with the rain and freezing cold. The paint just wouldn't set. It was clumping up. Conditions were brutal, but we made it through.
Я смотрю, и почти, не разрушается, в общем.
And now, a year later, I look at it, and it's still holding up. Honestly, I didn't think it would last, but it did. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm proud of it.
Ну, очень рад. Мне нравится, как получилось. Я супер доволен.
Я думаю, художники работают в целом как бы с расчетом на перспективу.
I think most artists work with the long view in mind, with hope for the future. Maybe in 5 or 10 years, their relentless, devoted effort will finally pay off. But that's not guaranteed. Personally, I'm not a fan of the phrase, if you can avoid drawing, don't draw. And by extension, if you can avoid creating, don't create. Because most artists simply cannot create. It's something deep inside, a drive they have to follow. They want to bring it to life themselves.
Ну, как бы должны реализовать. Им хочется это реализовать самим.
An artist's daily routine, negotiations, lifts, wiring, rain protection. These details turn chaos into precision. Over time, a kind of technical mindfulness develops. Hydrophobic coatings, light-fast pigments, and more. That's how the image stays recognizable even from afar. Mikhail Neronsky draws a clear line between craft and creativity, while painting teaches discipline and builds experience. But personal expression, that's something else entirely. It begins where art becomes therapy. Today, neural networks mimic style. Social media track attention, and content often plays the role of art. And yet, this is exactly when the artist's hand becomes visible. Mikhail believes there is something in the physicality of the brushstroke, in the doubt and risk that machines can't replicate. His craft-based projects are honest. Some people thank him right away. Others return weeks later, discovering new meaning. Success isn't measured in views or likes, but in that moment of precision, when the work fits the place perfectly and as they say, clicks into place.
Если прям так на чистоту говорить,
To be honest, I don't really see wall painting, murals, bas-reliefs as pure creativity. Of course, I grow as an artist when I do them. I learn, I improve my technique, I make new connections. It's still part of my development, no doubt. But real creativity to me starts with expression. It's when something inside you needs to be said.
мне кажется, в первую очередь это...
My art comes from that place, from something that hurts. It's like therapy for me. I make something about what's bothering me, and I hope it helps not just me, but someone else too.
Я вот об этом что-то делаю. И надеюсь, что это не только меня исцелит, но и кого-то еще.
In one courtyard, Mikhail restored old sculptures of fairy tale characters. The cement was crumbling, but the smiles remained. He bought paint and, with it, brought them back to life. It wasn't museum-grade restoration, but a heartfelt gesture of respect for handmade art. This is how the idea of a mural expands. Urban art isn't just about creating something new. It's also about caring for what can still be saved. And the technique isn't any easier. Cleaning, reinforcing, waterproofing, matching faded colors. But the hardest part is ethical. The goal isn't to repaint someone else's intent, but to preserve it. And in the end, it looks as if it had always been that way. For the neighborhood, it's a reconciliation between past and present. For the artist, a tribute to those who came before. And for the children, it's a living piece of history right outside their door.
И как-то вот я мимо проходил, я смотрю, что это что-то необычное, что-то такое.
I was just walking by when I saw it. Something unusual, something you don't come across every day. It felt historic, clearly made with warmth. And I just wanted to be part of it. So I bought the paint myself, came back, and with the help of a friend, we brought it back to life. If you look at it, you'll feel it. It's made with care, with soul, for the sake of the place. Like the little hippo. I look at him and I can't help but smile. He's so innocent, so simple, a bit silly, even awkward, but he radiates warmth and joy. And I'm genuinely happy I got to be part of that.
Поэтому, я супер рад, что, в общем, мне удалось к этому приложить свою руку.
Mikhail Neronsky is one of those artists who tried to leave art behind and realized it was impossible. Welder, disinfectant worker, bike mechanic, shop clerk. He gave normal life an honest shot, but somehow paint always found its way back to his hands. The artist in him never craved applause, he just didn't know how to stay silent. His biography feels like an open palette, a bit chaotic, a bit ironic, full of observations about what makes people tick. Moving from Moscow to Astana wasn't an escape, it was a way to hear himself again, to find clarity in a place where the horizon doesn't end at a wall. He doesn't chase inspiration, he simply works, and he doesn't wait for it because it always shows up in the process.
Понимаете, художник — это не то, что можно как профессию, например, посоветовать.
Being an artist isn't something you can just recommend like a career path. It's not like saying, go become a painter. I don't think it's something you choose. It's more like it chooses you. That's how I see it. And why do I keep coming back to it? Because every time I have ideas and I feel like I'm not growing as an artist, there is this voice in my head. I don't even know if it's mine or coming from somewhere else that asks, why aren't we doing what we are meant to do? Why are we welding on construction sites? Why are we making coffee in cafes? What's the point of all that? This isn't what you're supposed to be doing. That's how it feels.
Почему мы ходим на стройку сваркой заниматься, почему мы ходим в кофейню варить кофе, зачем это все? Это не то, что ты должен делать. Вот как-то так.
The city is a gallery without a roof or a schedule. Its curators, time and weather, art ages, fades, streaks with rain, and maybe that's its truth. It lives the days alongside us. Mikhail isn't chasing marble immortality. He's drawn to the honesty of the moment. A new environment, a move to Kazakhstan, the warmth of its people, all of it shifts the artist's mood and the palette of his work. And if If one day a gray wall suddenly blooms with an image that makes you look up, it means the city found time to dream. Where art becomes part of the daily routine, a conversation begins.